Welcome everyone, welcome everyone, welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Well, it is a Wednesday, so you know that means it is time for our weekly Top 10 countdown. And this week's Top 10 countdown is actually part 2, because last week was part 1, and it's about Halloween candy. Last week was Top 10 worst Halloween candies, and this week it's the Top 10 best Halloween candies, and that is based on sales. And the website that I found was actually from July 31st of this year. So that is pretty recent, and that is across the entire United States. And of course, it makes sense that you're going to recognize all of the candies on the list, because when you go out and buy candy for the kids to go trick-or-treating, you're going to buy candy that you know most kids will eat. So of course it's going to be, candy that's popular all year long. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the top 10 best-selling Halloween candies. Number 10 is Jolly Ranchers, and I love Jolly Ranchers, but I remember when I was a kid, I used to get choked on them things all the time because I had no patience, and I did not want to sit there and hold them in my mouth until they melted. So I would try to bite them one good time and swallow them, or just suck on them 4 or 5 minutes and swallow them. And I used to get choked all the time when I was a small, wee little, good-looking fella. Number 9 on the list is Hershey's Kisses. Number 8 is Sour Patch Kids. Number 7 is Snickers, and number 6 is candy corn. Now, stay tuned, and when I get all the way to number 1, I'm going to tell you the most popular selling Halloween candy in the 3 states that I think we have the most subscribers from. I could be wrong, but I think these are the 3 states where we have the most subscribers. So I'm going to tell you what is the most popular selling Halloween candy in those 3 states. And believe it or not, the number 1 selling overall Halloween candy is not number 1 in any of these 3 states. But before we get into the top 5, let's recap numbers 10 through 6. Number 10 was Jolly Ranchers. Number 9, Hershey's Kisses. Number 8, Sour Patch Kids. Number 7 was Snickers. And number 6 was candy corn. And as we break into the top 5, you'll see that number 5 on the list is Hot Tamales. Now, according to my wife, if she was in here doing this countdown with me, she would tell you hot tamales should be number 1. She could sit down and eat a box of hot tamales about every day of the year, but I personally think they're hideous. But number 5 is hot tamales. Number 4 on the list is M&M's. Now, it doesn't really specify which one, so I'm going to guess that's just overall M&M's, since there's so many different varieties of M&M's. But in my opinion, the best M&M's is peanut butter. I love the peanut butter. Number 3 is Starburst. Number 2 is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, which those things are delicious, but they're not big enough. And the most popular selling Halloween candy as of last year is Skittles. And even though I will say I love Skittles, I'm very surprised to know that it's number 1 on the list, because you think about kids and you automatically think of chocolate. But number 1 is Skittles. And now I'm going to tell you the most popular selling Halloween candy in what I believe is the 3 states where we have our most subscribers from so far, and that is Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. The number one selling Halloween candy in the state of Georgia is the same thing that was number 10 on the overall list across the U.S., and that is Jolly Ranchers. And the number one selling Halloween candy up to last year in South Carolina is Milk Duds. And the number one selling Halloween candy in the great state of Tennessee is Tootsie Pops. And I want to say thank you to my good friend Eric for suggesting I do top 10 best-selling Halloween candies. He loves Halloween, so I thought I would go ahead and do that. And then last week when I got ready to do the countdown, I thought, you know what? Everybody knows what the best-selling Halloween candies are going to be, because when you were a child, you know what you wanted at Halloween time. And now that most of us are adults, we know what we go to buy kids if we think we're going to get kids to come by our house at Halloween, because we don't want to give kids something they're not going to eat. And almost all kids like some kind of chocolate or Jolly Rancher or something along those lines, even peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Next week's countdown, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I may do a top 10 countdown that is baseball related. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm not sure yet that I'm going to do that, but I am thinking about it. If you have any suggestions for another top 10 countdown, please let me know. Eric gave me about 5 more, but they were all Halloween based and Halloween related, so I may wait until later on in September or October to do those lists, and I will have to stay in contact with him to make sure I remember all of them when it gets time to do those countdowns. And speaking of food, let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I was going to make alligator stew, and then I realized that I only have a crock pot. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.